high school, so I was at Martin Luther King High School for 15 years, and then Christiana before, and then here. Always relationships was paramount for me, but knowing my students like that, like where their poster is, where they were on Saturday, like just the relationships is, really crucial. So it's a real small school. Probably max out 250. This year we teetered around like 180, but we go from 7:30 or 8 until 7:30 at night. So the kids are on 3 shifts, 4 hours long, 4 hours academic, and then 4 hours job or internship.
So how many do you have at a time?
60 max. So she comes here, different small classes, different schedule, only 4 hours at a time. She's graduating on time with her class, and I think she had to get 16 credits in 18 school months, but when you break that down, I think it's like 11 months of actual school. So she would have never gotten that in a traditional school year. Remember that conversation we had in my office about the things that I worry about? Yes. Yeah. So there's a chapter in there on habits, habits becoming practice. I want you to read that chapter. All right? Yes. Remember I talked about that? She actually has a scholarship that she's going into. She was supposed to go into the Marine Corps, changed her mind. Actually, now she's going into the Navy. And so she ships out this year. So it's an alternative option for students. We wouldn't have known it before, but this was grass all along here.
Purpose behind it? Really? Really? As pretty as you are, huh? You better right up to your level, huh?
Yeah. So what's our big purpose?
To make people feel welcome and more like upbeat and feel pretty.
Y'all are really going to beautify the block.
Yes.
I mean, you're bringing life over here.
How do you feel about it? How do you personally feel about it?
Good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good doing it, huh?
Yeah.
Have you ever done gardening before?
Yeah.
No.
What do folks say when they drive by or walk by people in the community?
Yeah, it's been
That's good.
And they know that the school is here because they look up and they see this and they look at the school. Well, I never knew this was here.
Well, I like to think of this area as really an opportunity to show the community that since we are a dropout prevention school, that we're kind of showing ourselves as a example for students to drop into education, especially in our area. I know a lot of students who have had a negative experience with an academic environment, and when we have something that's so lively, that students are so involved in, that people really look at us and say, something's going on there, and I want to be a part of it. So it's like if we put on for the community will give and be a part of us as well. So that's my thought on that.
Bishop, as a community leader, when you find out that something like this is going on, how does it make you feel inside to see what the youth are doing?
Very, very exciting. As we know in our communities, opportunities is the big thing. If a person is given an opportunity, usually they'll rise to it. But doors are closed. So every time people who are dedicated and committed opening doors, I get excited. And I start thinking about all of the kids that just need this. So my mind's racing, as others are, in terms of finding those kids and directing them to the open door. And as here, life-changing experiences. You start doing things you couldn't do before, that all of a sudden you realize, I can do this, and I like it. And you find out that maybe there's something inside of me that really likes this stuff. And you start just working in that area, and other ideas, inventions, creative thrust and achievements start moving. And I think that's how the world turns. And so this is exciting that you all are doing this, and I'm going to be thinking about ways that I could join you all in making this happen for other young people who are right at that borderline, and that need that help.
I like our kids doing what they need to do to help themselves, but at the same time keep reminding them that they need to lift as they climb as well. So as they're working on themselves, also investing in our school and our community, and they take that with them where they leave.
And Captain Kill, I mean, you are law enforcement. You get to see when projects like this go bad. You really get to feel the effect of the lack of these type of effective resources, the lack of this type of community involvement, the lack of this type of leadership amongst our educational institutions in urban communities. So having had the time that you've put into the trenches of Wilmington, the trenches of where our kids are, how do you feel watching our young people, the young people of Wilmington, committed to this level of personal development proactively?
Well, I think it's a validation because it's coming from the children. It's coming from the young youth. When they validate it, it's easy. See, a lot of times we as adults, law enforcement, we try to validate their programs for them. It's just like say no to drugs. Well, the program was admirable. The idea was great. The situation where they're at was validated because the kids couldn't just say no because there were other things, issues that they had to deal with before they could even get to the point of saying no. So enforcement itself, I think that has happened over the time when people get frustrated. See, because it takes time and commitment to take that extra step. Because the rest is easy. There's not a law on the street that someone hasn't broken or have broken that I can take it. Now, take the bishops. He could either counsel, reprimand, or give that spiritual insight. He can look at, and try to lift it grow, like she's planting flower. That flower is not going to just last for us today. It's going to go on forever. Not ever in a sense, but more than one generation. And that's what you want to do. For me, it's a great thing. Because now, in the area, because you get labeled, you get the stereotype, you get the look. Oh, that's that. Oh, it's that. We have to break those barriers. It's interaction. Now they see me. Because when they see me in uniform, they might see a certain mentality and vice versa. But once we get to know the individual. So for me, it's great. I mean, that's the whole thing of interaction.
Captain's saying something very important because some things got to happen before we get to the ultimate. We like to jump to the ultimate, but before you can say no to drugs, you got to see opportunities. You got to be able to shut doors on some stuff that's facing you right in your life, and the way you shut doors, know that there's some open doors. And so by what you're doing, you're meeting folks at that bottom floor, and usually that's where the young people are. That's why they validate. They validate that stuff that's down there that they can immediately attest to and cling to. So that, I think, is a big thing. So as we just do that first floor, second floor kind of work, when the big stuff comes, we'll be ready for it. And be able to say no.
Everyone here is validating. You are advocating for them. It's not popular to advocate for kids, especially now. The first thing everybody say, "Oh, them kids is crazy. They off the chain. They cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, whatever you want to say." Why you wasting your time? So if I'm a young person, and every time I walk out the house and I'm walking down the street, that's all I hear. So why should I care?
Live up to that expectation.
Why should I care?
Yeah.
I mean, even sometimes over a while, someone says to me, "Hey, you look nice today." Instead of you, blank, blankety, blank, all negative. After a while, what does it matter? And see, that's where it has to come in. It doesn't cost anything to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the law of reciprocity. You give and you receive. We have to start giving them an opportunity, like you said, opening up these doors and letting them feel comfortable with being themselves. That they can do more than just that and not be labeled.
Yeah.
But again, they have to have some. I enjoy when I see adults and young people advocate for themselves, but truly, when they feel as though they validate themselves and you support them. And you're not always going to break.
What is so phenomenal, not only about you two pillars of the community standing together at the alternative school on a Monday morning without more than 48 hours notice, right? That when we look at the youth, like, I want you to realize something. It's very difficult, I don't know if you've seen it, but very difficult to see them two together during their time off. And when you wonder what concern, what issue was important enough for them, because, one of them represents the Christian community, the other one represents the Islamic community. You typically wouldn't see them together. But both of their interests are represented in this community because you're in this community. And what one thing could be important enough for them to come together? You. The belief in you. For you to believe in yourself. They believe that you can get done whatever it is that you want to get done if you believe that you can get it done. And they came together just to demonstrate their belief in you. And you have to shout out your phenomenal principal. I mean, you got to realize that even though she's doing the things that she's doing in Wilmington, she's already got a track record for doing astronomical things at one of the greatest high schools in the world, because I just think it was named after a really great guy and it's in a really great community. But she's been at King High School. This isn't the first time that she's established relationships with the community. And those relationships that she established, she's got one of the largest influential community leaders coaching the wrestling team in that city, in that high school. And that was a relationship you established how many years ago?
11.
So people care. And we care about you. And we're focused on you. And we want you to know that this summer, all we care about is your success. So focus on your success. Remember, you don't have to draw it. You can connect the dots. It's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. And understand that your principal and your community is behind you. Right? We love you and we look forward to you seeing great things. We know that you're not the achievers and the leaders of tomorrow. We know that you are the achievers and leaders of today. And what the people here are committed to doing is not waiting for tomorrow. We want to connect with you today and assist you in your journey from the young adult today to the achievers and leaders tomorrow. Because guess what? We're all getting old. And we know that you're going to run the deal. And when you start running the deal, we want you to remember that we cared about you in high school and that we're here for you. We love you. And I think there's only one person who can close this out and can give you the last word that she wants you to know. Because this is the beginning of the summer. You're going to have a summer. And then she's going to be here in September, caring about you, driving you to accomplish and achieve your greatness. So, Principal, what do you say to the youth of Wilmington from the heart? What message do you give them to close out the school year?
Well, we've been here. We're here together. We're always going to be here for you. We need you to be here with us. We have programs this entire summer. We have a great camp and a great opportunity for you to be leaders and entrepreneurs and to continue to lift as we climb, to continue to do what we need to do to make yourself all that we know you can be and fulfill all of your potential. Most importantly, we need you to know that we care about you. We need you to know that you will be all that you can be, and that at Sarah Pyle, we know that you will and that you can, and we'll see you in September.